Ben on line 1.
Well, I know we've got Ben because Ben happens to be a friend of mine. And Ben's wife, Desreen, was killed in an accident involving an old driver 5 years ago. Ben, it's good to hear you.
Morning, Matt. How you doing?
Tell us a story about Desreen, Ben.
Well, it was 4.5 years ago now. We were in North London walking home from a friend's house, and a driver, an 82-year-old driver, mounted the pavement in his car, driving about 57 in a 20 zone, struck and killed Desreen, and she died at the scene. He claimed to have had an episode which left him with no memory, but also claimed to be trying to crash the car into a wall. So two things seem to have happened at the same time. But really what's happened as a result of that, it's not based on this single episode. So many people got in touch with me and told me about people that have been either, relatives that have been killed by an older driver, or that they tried to encourage family and friends of over 70, 80 to stop driving because they didn't feel they were safe anymore, but to no real effect. So I just kind of stepped in and tried to do something about it. Started a petition that had over 200,000 signatures, and I'm actually, a year and a half down the line, finally getting somewhere with my local MP trying to help me with this issue.
What do you make, Ben, of this idea that perhaps there isn't the cost to retest older drivers? And, of course, plenty of people, as David said earlier, in their 70s and 80s in rural areas rely on their cars to get about, to just go and get to the shops.
Well, I do understand that it's a big issue. There's a psychological impact and mental health impact in taking away someone's licence. But there's many different ways of handling this. I mean, I paid for my own driving tests, and I don't really understand why it should have to cost the state a great deal to deal with this. What I am worried about is there's lots of things in place at the moment. There's a paper and a task force have gone out there that are suggesting that we should actually raise mandatory self-declaration age to 75, which is based really on not very much. And it looks like everyone's on the side of the older driver at the moment, and things aren't being scrutinised. Things are going to get worse before they get better by the looks of things.
Ben, I mean, do you think there is going to be a change? And let me just ask you this to finish off. Do you think that it's right to put the onus perhaps on health professionals to flag up people who could be a problem if they get behind the wheel?
I'm not sure that is the solution. I think it's part of a number of solutions, but I don't think the onus should be on self-declaration, because I think there's evidence to suggest that it just doesn't work. I mean, we've seen this in this incident, in the incident that's happened this week. In fact, I read the police statement, and it even says that the driver has been disqualified from driving for 5 years from the date of his release from prison. He's already been told his eyesight isn't good enough to drive. What's going to happen in 9 years? How is it going to get better? There's just so much contradiction in the system at the moment that it's hard to tell or it's hard to imagine there being just one solution.
Ben, it's really good to get your thoughts on this. Ben has also written extensively about life as a widower as well, and his young son Jackson coming through the death of Desreen. Really good to hear from you, and hope you're all well. Look,
do feel free to comment and give us a thumbs up if you feel inclined. For more clips from the show and exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, click here. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button here to be automatically informed when new videos are available. Links to our other social media platforms can be found in the description. Thanks for watching.